Hello, and welcome to a short video preview of the latest features in Skipper version 1.24.4. The first thing I want to show you is simply some enhancements to the modern compass control shown here on the right. The four user-defined data fields have been moved inside the compass and they're sized a little better now. So just like on the wind gauge over here, where you have four user-defined data fields outside the gauge, over here in the compass, those have been moved inside the gauge to make basically to make everything fit a little nicer and look a little nicer. Each one of these has its own title, its own uh, path to sugar signal K data, and its own unit designation here. So apparent wind angle, heading, etc. Another feature is something called auto rotating grids. So this is a grid layout, a single grid with two cells and a control in each cell. If you're looking at this on a phone turned sideways, this looks pretty nice. But prior to this version, if you turned your phone to portrait mode, like I'm going to simulate here, all it did was just shrink everything down to fit in the available space. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you what this new auto rotating grid control can do. I'm going to go in. Here's something you may not know about. If you right click or press and hold anywhere on a user defined page, you get a little context menu. I'm going to go in and edit the controls on this page. And I'm going to edit the base grid layout, and I'm going to make it auto rotate enabled. Go ahead and hide those page control editors or page editing controls. And now when I change from landscape to portrait to simulate you changing the orientation of your phone or tablet, you see that now I get two still optimally sized controls, still in the proper orientation. Everything still looks great. So this works for a very, very simple page layout like this, but it also works just fine if one of these or any of these grids here is yet another grid. So I could have a 2x2 grid here that would still be properly oriented when I turned the phone on its side, phone or tablet. So really nice feature, brand new in 1.24.4. The next thing is a change to how themes are set up and used. Let me again right click on here to get this context menu, and I can go right to the settings. And the first section of the settings is about themes. So you can change the theme between day and night here. You can set the theme for the daytime. We only have three theme choices: light, dark, and dark red. Dark red is the new one that I'm going to show you. We'll set for the day light. For the night, instead of dark, which is what we had before, I'm going to choose dark red. And now when I change this to night here, now we're looking at the dark red theme. When you're in settings, uh, it's not really noticeable. But when you go to a user-defined page with actual data, you see how much different it really is. All right. So here, let me change the orientation of this to be more appropriate so you can see it. I can get a, can't seem to grab my corner here. Well, anyway, I'll just show you on another one. Same thing there. There we go. Okay. So there's a pretty good view of what the data will look like with the dark red night theme. Okay. And finally, here's something for probably more for people who run Skipper on their phone or tablet than anything. But let's look at, let me put this back into a more of a phone orientation. And we've had a request to be able to hide the icon bar here to use every bit of screen real estate here. So this is new in this version. Again, I'm going to right click and go into settings, and I'm going to scroll down to appearance, and I'm going to allow the icon bar to be hidden. And now when I go to any of my user defined pages, you see that I have this little down arrow here, which I can touch on, basically get to a screen that I want to display. And then when I touch this little down arrow, I get full screen for my all of my controls. To bring that back, I simply right click again, show the icons bar. Now I can switch to something else and then hide the icons bar again, getting full use of the entire screen. So there are several other enhancements in this version, but those are probably the most easily shown in a visible way on a video. So I hope you'll find them useful. If you haven't yet checked out Skipper, it is the absolute best way to view Signal K data on your phone, tablet, Raspberry Pi, Windows machine, Linux machine, or Macintosh. All right. Have a great day.